participants here, dear professor, thank you for the introduction. So we are here proudly representing National Chengchi University. I'm Antonio Breiman from Russia, and here we have
Sophia from accounting department.
And Tina Zhen from finance background.
I'm Alice Chang from accounting department as well.
Okay, so first of all, let's see today's agenda. We apologize for our PPT. We can see we had a marker issue drama, but at the end it worked out well because they gave us the wrong markers, but it's okay because we have our voice and we will give you an excellent presentation. So our today's agenda is first we'll state the key issue. After the key issue, we will go through an analysis. After our analysis, we will review the organizational structure problem, and last but not least, our strategies and the conclusions. So when we were discussing this case, I found that something very interesting. This case, for me, and for all of us, it's very similar to the growth matrix because somehow it summarizes the path that Microsoft went through in order to build what Microsoft is today. So we can see that in the four growth categories here we have market, and here we have product. So we can see that in the market, when Microsoft first penetrated the market, they were using a platform-only approach, meaning that, of course, and we all know the famous Windows and the Office applications. And because of that, Microsoft started to build a name for itself. After that, they started to do, they wanted to go through a new market. So they started to follow a devices and services strategy via merge and acquisitions. And we can see that they acquired Nokia, and later, and also they acquired Skype. Last but not least, in new products, we can see that they invented the very successful gaming tool, Xbox, and they also started to work in softwares and applications after they bought Nokia, creating smartphones and tablets. Now, this is today's main issue. It's here in the diversification part, especially because as the case states, now Microsoft is following a one Microsoft strategy. Therefore, the main issue is how can Microsoft keep being an important player in the market, in the industry of technology, and how can Microsoft move forward?
Okay. Thanks to Antonio's introduction on the issue. Now let's see why we define right now a new era for Microsoft. Why is it a new game for Microsoft? From the case, you can see that in the past, more challenges that Microsoft is facing now. In the technology part, we know that new platforms are emerging now, and the decline in PC sales are happening. So it can not only stay as the biggest software provider anymore. Also, in the part of competitors, because Microsoft is now stepping into more markets, so we can see that more competitors emerge now. Because going into more markets, from only software to hardware, as the supplier of those hardware in the past, now Microsoft itself is becoming the producer of these software by acquiring Nokia. So we can see that those hardware vendors are now becoming the new competitors of Microsoft. And in the part of the employment, it's now facing the challenges of it's now implementing some new cultural change. We can see from the case. So the cultural change certainly brings some conflict in the company, including their goals of building a nimble, a communicative, a collaborative, decisive, and motivated company. So the part of the employees inside Microsoft and the employees of Microsoft and Nokia would certainly be a new challenge for them. And last but not least, the shareholder parts. The more shareholders means the more needs to fulfill and the more expectations to the company. So how are Microsoft going to tackle these challenges and to remain itself as the big, dominant or leader in this new market, in this new era?
So let's take a look at from the company strengths. Just like Alice mentioned, Microsoft is renowned and dominant in software industry for years long. So it has a huge strength. The company's strength is it has huge Windows. It has huge Windows user base, and it's also abundance in talents and also resources, and also have a renowned brand that customers rely on and customer can trust on. This is their strength they're having. But with these resources and abundance in talents and resources pool, they can always keep up with today technology, like the innovative devices. They can have they can use their talent and resources to innovate like flexible smartphone in the future. It's like a smartphone plus projector. You can use your cell phone and to project your presentation PPT, and this is I think is feasible. And also like cloud service software, like they can provide individual personal investment software, because like Bloomberg is very expensive for individuals to use this. That is they can have like work with Nokia, the hardware, and then they have like strong engineer base. They can solve the problem with the software and then work together, combine together, have these kind of new devices. But they also have weaknesses. As Alice mentioned, 5 years later than iOS to launch this software for iPhone and for smartphone, and 7 years later than Google. So it's the weakness is the snail's response to the market. And so now what are we going to do for this? Why they are slow? Because the organization, they have proven their really success in the history in the past. So the organization is like a really big like an elephant, and they have like this is elephant, and then they have to climb up the stairs. The newcomer have climbed up the stairs slowly. So, but Microsoft is an innovative company. They have new things, and the young and talented people, they tend to be more creative. So if they have to climb the stairs slowly, then you will lose the core competency of the company. So what we suggest now is no politics but efficient. How are we going to do no politics but efficient?
is a decline in PC sales. So this is the threat that Microsoft face in this time. So what can we do to face this kind of increasing mobile users and also the decline in PC sales? What can Microsoft do? And besides, I want to give you some introduction of Microsoft too. The background information of it is it acquired Nokia. It is one of the background information we know. And second is dividend cash will slow down in next year. But we believe our shareholder and also the stockholder, they will believe in our innovative strategy. So let's take a look at the stock performance. For the past few years, Microsoft's stock price is around $40 right now, and we believe in next 2 years after the implement of a strategy, it will grow up to 60%, $60. It is a 50% upside based on the revenue growth and also the improving product mix. So based on this, we believe Microsoft can solve a lot of problems that mentioned in the case, like back to its main strategy, the mobile device and also cloud devices first. So that's right now gives back to Antonio to take a look at the conclusion.
So basically, if we see this company, Microsoft, it seems very good on the outside. However, it has several problems on the inside. So we think that the key factor for Microsoft in order to keep its name in this industry is, of course, innovation. Thank you very much.
In your presentation, you outlined the solution, which is the development of this product by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Given where Microsoft is currently, how long do you think it's going to take to develop such a product? And you mentioned there's a lot of capex. How much do you think it's going to cost to actually develop products such as my Microsoft that can do projections, web functionality, and all of that?
So based on our financial forecast, we believe we are going to implement this kind of strategy in 2014 and 15. So we believe we can develop this kind of product in next 2 years. So the capex will be huge in next few years, and the capex will include like the talent we need to recruit some talent from other company to develop this kind of product. And besides, also other capex like we need to have this kind of huge terminal because it needs to store everyone's file into the terminal. And besides, so it will be located in most of the big city of the developed country. And besides, we also need some technology like everyone's computer have to build up the remote system. So maybe remote system with a terminal. So it takes time for Microsoft to develop this, to implement this kind of system into everyone's personal computer, and also to build the connect with the.
If it's going to take time, and you want to launch this product in 1 or 2 years, how will it be feasible given that you're launching a new product, but some of the functionality that you're describing is not going to be available in 1 or 2 years that you intend to launch this product?
Well, actually, there's a like I mentioned, like an individual personal investment software. It can also actually work with Motif. Motif is a venture company in Silicon Valley at this moment. They're in their second round of the fundraising. So Microsoft can work with Motif actually, so they can speed up providing this service to the customers.
Last but not least, I would like to add that this question that you asked is very similar to what happened with Intel, for example. We know that Intel is the company that makes the chips for our CPUs and the servers of our devices. Now, what happened with Intel's chips, electronic chips, that they take, first of all, they're too big because they need, the bigger it is, that's the amount of energy you can transmit. Now, the technology to change these chips was already available before 2012 by a company named AMD, which is AMD wanted to compete with Intel. Now, the technology was there, but Intel was not willing to invest because of the cost, because it it will mean that they will have to change every single chip they've done so far. Now, AMD, the company that had the technology, they had like a really rough time, and they sold their company 6 months later in 2012. So we think that the technology is there because we have seen reports in the Japanese magazines that there's so many technology available, robots, like really high sophisticated technology. But because of the cost of the amount of investment we have to put. So that is why no one wants to be the pioneer, because being the pioneer always means losing the most money, if we see it that way.
I just want to add one more point because in the past, Microsoft has done several failures. Like they missed the point, they missed the opportunities to lead the trend because they just stay in the comfort zone. So I think for Microsoft, it's not a matter of cost, but a matter of time. So to grab the time, to lead the trend, to stay in the trend, and to make their position in the trend stable, there must be some cost in all the innovation part in the technology, in these acquiring Nokia, and in more product development. We know there must be the cost, and we made some financial forecast. But we believe that to take the right trend, to take the opportunity, it would be the right choice for Microsoft in this era. Thank you.
So I would like to add some. It also go back to the organization problem right now is elephant, is so many politics going on. Maybe they have the resources and they also see the trend. They just need to respond very quickly because given the fact that they can work with Motif and they have these resources, so I think it's just a matter of like meeting and efficient and work together. I think they can overcome this.
Question on Microsoft. You have a very optimistic financial forecast. Have you considered, once you implement this by Microsoft new product, what's the impact on the other products, services you are now bringing sadly? Because I believe you're actually competing heads-on with your other vendors in this product. One thing is, how about the other competitors? They will just sit there and do nothing.
Okay.
So have you considered this too when you make your very optimistic financial forecast?
So let me answer your second question first. So for your second question for the competitor, I think the competitor is a very kind of different aspect because we think the competitor in the cloud business is like Google and also some like Dropbox. And for the mobile service competitor is Android system and also the Apple company. So we believe these are the competitor from my point of view. So and besides for the ecosystem is that the Android system is a competitor, but Microsoft's competitor they don't have this kind of competitor in personal computer, right? Because personal software computer software because it is a dominant role in this kind of market, and everyone also has this kind of need to use a personal computer, and maybe it can lead the position like to combine this kind of personal software with the mobile phone and also with the tablet. So because we can say this because it is a dominant in the personal computer software, so it has a entry barrier for other competitors, so they cannot access these kind of users from at this moment. So we don't think other competitor will have this kind of ability like to compete with Microsoft from my point of view. Yeah. And for your first question is that can you we think of is that maybe is that because Microsoft has its personal software right now, and it is not a negative impact in this kind of in this business line because it is going to develop more. So for the business for the personal computer software, it is not the negative impact. But for other aspect like the Nokia, there will be maybe some problem because the Microsoft will focus on its business line in the personal computer software, and also my Microsoft this kind of system. But for Nokia, we also to put some effort to combine its phone and also this kind of personal computer software together. So I believe if in the future people are very familiar with this kind of personal computer software, their only choice is to choose the Nokia phone to adapt this system with the computer. So this is it has a monopoly role in the market. So in the long run, the prospect for this kind of for Nokia phone, it will be much better for in the long run from our aspect. Yeah.
Okay. You, as Richard said earlier, you got some quite aggressive projections for the next few years in terms of your share price and what you're going to deliver to shareholders. But if you've got all this capex going on for the next couple of years, and I think you acknowledged that your dividends were going to sort of suffer as a result.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be sure that because capital markets basically is a fairly inefficient place, people will not want to put their money into you just to see no return for a couple of years in the hope that something may happen? We might also see some attrition from your own shareholders who get fed up with waiting. What makes you think that people will be patient with you where I can just go to Apple or Samsung and put my money into that?
Okay, to answer your question, I want to raise another point upon the market is that the market is very irrational, right? So the people irrational. So people in the market are very irrational. So if we give them this kind of gene, they will expect the Microsoft price maybe go up and will also to keep it at its present level. So I believe based on to combine these two strategy together, because everyone has a gene for Microsoft and also the new system, it would still buy Microsoft's stock, so the price won't go down fastly because they saw the potential opportunity for this company and they will invest in the company's future instead of right now the other company. So I believe it can solve this kind of problem. In the long run, stockholder they can make money, and it is a good choice. Yeah.
And actually, we prepared something related to your question. First, in the case, it states that now Microsoft is focusing on something that they call mobile first and cloud first, meaning that they think that these two businesses will be the largest in terms of revenue. So we can see that. As my teammate said, this is a part for maybe long run because they need to open up R&D department first, because we're talking about a new product, which means market penetration is a breakthrough in the industry, which of course will require time. In the meantime, we can focus on innovation. And what's the biggest problem with Microsoft is that they are afraid and they are playing very safe. So we will have something in the short run. For example, in the mobile first category, we'll go into innovation. We will be the first company to offer flexible smartphones. Now, this concept of flexible smartphones has been in the industry already for 2 years. Now, Samsung, with its Samsung Galaxy and Samsung Note, they promised the consumers to have the first Samsung flexible smartphone in about 2 years, meaning that there is the technology, and Microsoft is doing really well with its cell phone, Nokia Lumia. It's not bestseller. However, the media calls it not the best phone, not the best camera, but it's the best. It's not the best camera, it's not the best cell phone, but it's the best cell phone camera, smartphone camera. So Microsoft doing really well with Nokia Lumia using its Windows system. So why not take a risk and do the flexible smartphone before Samsung does it in about 2 years? And in the cloud, we can do something short run, like personal investment software that my teammate Sophia Lawrence just mentioned. It will be something feasible and something that we are 100% sure that Microsoft can do now. If Samsung can, they can also do it.
One very quick question, so no time to go into this, but so I understand these terminals that you're going to put up, are they going to be like at the end of every street corner in cities, or are we talking about like one major terminal per big city?
It's just like it's just gonna be like a C Micro is a company before it developed like a small server center,
Right.
but several places so that it can cost the power and energy efficient for the company. So it's gonna be like several mini servers.
Okay, so that's
And then it's gonna be quick, can be efficient, and it's does not cost that much capex to invest in, because if you invest in very big and it's very dangerous if it's got attack or something happen, disaster happen, it's gonna be very dangerous. So it's gonna be like a different mini service.